In this section, you will learn the usage of the new style formatting. Python 3 introduced a new way to do string formatting, and that was also later backported to Python 2.7. This new style, string formatting, gets rid of the modulo operator special syntax and makes the syntax for string formatting more regular. Formatting is now handled by calling .format on a string object. And now we are going to look into how we can actually achieve our print formatting using the new way. So right here, I'm going to create a variable. I'll call it name. Then here we're going to assign Emmanuel as name. Okay. And what we want to do now is to use the new way or the new style formatting to actually format our string. So now I'm going to go to the new line here and I'll print. And I'm not going to just print, but I also want to format. So let me put a string here, hello, and put a comma right there. And I will use open and close curly braces, as we can see right here. And I'll put dot after the string, and I'll call the format function. Then I close the brackets and I open it right here. So as we can see, we need to provide the variable into the format function, and the variable that we want to provide is the name variable, and that will be the name that will be assigned into this position. So whatever we store into this name will be here. So now let's try to see what this is going to show by the time we print it out. So as a matter of fact, we can see right here, hello Emmanuel. Okay, so which means it is working. We can also use this dot formats to do simple positional formatting, just like we could with old style formatting. And how do we do that? So right here, I'll also create another variable. So let's call it Emma. Okay, and let's create an age for this person. So I'm going to say the age is 24. Okay, and now what I want to do, 24, what I want to do is to print out and format the string. So the first thing will be to write out the print function, and within the print function, then I'll put the double quotes and I'll do a. So curly braces. So let's put a comma, and here you her. So let's put a curly braces, and after that let's put dot format. And here I want to supply two variables. So the first one is the name and the second one is the age. So let's say name and let's say age right there. And if we run this, then we should be able to see our result. Hey, Emmanuel, you are 24, which is fine. But what happens if we change the position of this variable? So let's change this to age and let's change this to name. And let's run it again. And here we can see that we have an incorrect statement. Hey, 24, you are Emmanuel. So this is one of the problem of using this format that you can see right here. So positional formatting is good, but if you mismanage the arrangement of the variable, then you will get an incorrect statement. So how do we solve this problem when we are using the new style? Because everybody can be prone to make a mistake, right? But we need to be very careful. In order to make sure that we don't fall into this kind of traps, we can use what we call the variable substitutions by name and use them in any order you want. Okay, this is quite a powerful feature as it allows for rearranging the order of display without changing the argument passed to format. And this is what I'm going to show you next. So right here, I'm going to create a name and I'm going to assign name into that. And this is going to be based on the variable substitution by name. So Hima again. And let's try to say we have an error and I'll create an hexadecimal value here. So let's say BAB and let's say so we have this hexadecimal value, which is an error at the moment that we want to display. And what I'm going to do is to print out right here using the variable substitution by name in order to solve the problem of this type of trap that we can actually fall into. So now what I'm going to do is to say A, and right here open and close the curly braces, and I'll put a name into that place, and I'll make a comma right there, and I will say there is, and so let's say the error that we want to mention basically. And right here I will use the open and close again, and I will say error, and right here after that I will say error, and then I'll do dot format as we can see right here. And the next thing I will do is to say name is equal to name, so I assign name into the name variable, and I will do error and I will assign error into the error variable. And with this we should be able to actually print out the result. So if I print right here, you can see that we have A, Emmanuel. There is A, so let's use A right there. There is this error that we can see right there. So let's print it one more time. So A, Emmanuel, there is this error, right? Now we can see that the value that we actually put here is not what we can see right here. And this example is to show you that the sentence to format an int variable as a hexadecimal string has changed. Now you need to pass a format spec by adding column right here and X. With that, you should be able to print out the hexadecimal value as you have added it right here. And now if I print this value, then we should be able to see the results correctly. Okay, and here we have the variable substitution by name, which means that even if we change the position of this variable, we should still be able to print out the values correctly because we already made sure that we pinpointed the variable name where we actually want them to be. And with that, by the time we run this, we can see that we still get our value back in the correct position, unlike this one, which has no attachment to where this variable should be pointing to. Okay, so in order not to fall into this trap, you would better use a variable substitution by name rather than using this one. In Python 3, this new style string formatting is to be preferred over old style formatting, which we already discussed before. While old style formatting has been de-emphasized, it has not been deprecated. It is still supported in the latest versions of Python. In the next section, I will show you the string literals way of formatting strings that lets you use embedded Python expressions inside string constants.